Hey everyone, I am back. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. I hope that you have had a wonderful week. For those of you who are tuning in for the very first time on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, or LinkedIn Live, we are here every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time uh, on these platforms with Mental Health Moment for you. So welcome. For those of you who tune in every single Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, welcome back. And thanks so much for joining. And for those of you who are tuning into the replay on Dr. Nikisha Hammond YouTube, welcome. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for those who are starting to join here. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. Let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from today, and hopefully you'll be able to see your comments. I don't know why sometimes these comments want to come in later. But nonetheless, hope you are doing well. Hope you had an amazing week. Again, let me know where you're tuning in from in the comments. And today I'm in the Tampa Bay area of Florida. Yes, usually we start at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today, slightly later because I was running from an event, trying to get home so I could do mental health moments. But nonetheless, hope you're well. And for those of you who are new, mental health moment is all about how do you become the best version of yourself so you can show up for yourself powerfully and for those around you. Oh, now I see the comments going in. Awesome. So Rochester, New York's in the house. Welcome. New Jersey's here. Welcome. Fort Michelle, Kentucky. Welcome. San Francisco. Welcome back. Little Rock, Arkansas. Welcome. Michigan. So I'm in the Tampa Bay area, Florida, for those of you just joining here. And again, mental health moment is usually at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but had an event tonight with some amazing teenagers with the Ryan Neese Foundation, which is a nonprofit that I'm on the board of. So because I can't be in two places at once because I don't have a clone yet, you all, that's why we're starting a little bit later tonight. But we'll typically be starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But again, let me know where you're tuning in from in the chat. Michigan's in the house. Welcome. Buffalo, New York, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Charlotte, ATO with a couple of exclamation points. I feel like ATL is my second home, but that's a whole nother mental health moment because I spent a lot of time there with different conferences and things. Everything seems to be happening in Atlanta. But nonetheless, welcome. Raleigh, North Carolina's in the house as well. Welcome. So depending on where you're at in the world, maybe you're on Tuesday, which is the day before Valentine's Day, or maybe you're already experiencing Valentine's Day, depending where you are listening to this live. But nonetheless, as you know, Wednesday, February 14th is Valentine's Day. So today's mental health moment is devoted to the topic of love, but not just romantic love, because love comes in many, many different forms, right? So love comes from loving your neighbors. It's loving your friends and your family members. It could be a romantic relationship or not. Love comes in a lot of different forms, right? So we're going to talk about that in today's mental health moment. And thanks for those who are still starting to join here. Maryland's in the house. Texas is in the house. Welcome. And the reason why this topic is important on mental health moment before in the past, sometime last year, I don't remember which time period it was, but we talked a lot about the notion of self-love as well, right? That's a different form of love. So loving yourself and loving those around you. Love comes in a lot of different forms. And the reason why I want to share this topic, excuse me, with you all tonight is because a lot of times with Valentine's Day, it's a very in your face holiday, right? You see a lot of things online, you see a lot of things on social media, you see a lot of things in the stores. And although that may represent one type of love, it's also really, really critically important for you always to be working on the self love in your life. And the reason why that is because all of us have something that we are dealing with, whether it's something amazing, something maybe more difficult for us to work through, whether it's something from your childhood, whether it's something currently, both things. Like there's all these sort of things that we're dealing with in our personal lives, right? Our personal and professional lives. So it's really critically important then for you to say, hey, how can I work on my level of self-love? And again, for those of you who are not new to mental health moment, I always share with you, it is a process. everything is a process when it comes to mental health and wellness, right? It's not an overnight process. Self love, again, depending on where you're at in that journey, looks a lot different. You may be at the point where you're like, Dr. Hammond, I have so much negative self talk right now. I have a low level of self love, or I'm struggling to love myself because of something that happened to you, something that didn't happen that you wanted to happen, something you did with, to someone else, or whatever it is that happened, didn't happen, or should have happened, or all those sorts of things. Like that takes a toll on us mentally sometimes, right? And again, all of us are at a different journey with our self love. Different things pop up in our lives, different experiences pop up, different challenges pop up, different amazing things pop up too. And we have to always be aware of where we're at in our self love journey. So I'm sharing this with you all today to remind you to ask yourself, where am I in my self love journey? So that's question number one. You should be asking yourself on a regular basis, where am I in my self love journey? Here's the thing. If you say, I don't love myself right now, which is okay, be honest with yourself. You can be honest. You don't have to even share it with anyone else. You can be honest with yourself and your own thoughts and answer, yes, I'm not in a place where I love myself right now. I need to work on this. You may say, I'm in a great place right now. I'm healed. You might say, I'm still on this healing journey. Dr. Hammond, and there's different tips and different things I need to do, but be honest with yourself. And very important, especially with this question, is do not blame yourself for wherever you're at in the process. So the whole point of moving through and healing and working on your self-love is not at all during the process to get to the point where, like, man, I don't love myself, or I judge myself, I have blame, I have all these negative thoughts, or wherever it is that you're at, right? Because the fact that you're even listening to this mental health moment right now, the fact that you are working on yourself, like, how do you become a better person, right? The fact that you're even doing that, like, that's step one. So congratulate yourself. If you're like, I'm at the starting line of this, I'm just trying to reset my life, recharge, wherever it is you're at, congratulations. Right? Celebrate yourself, right? So that's going to be really, really important for you to be thinking about on this journey of self-love. So number one, again, the check-in. We talk about that often on mental health moment. Checking in with yourself and asking yourself, where am I, right, on this self-love journey. The second thing that's really important, I know it's hard not to do. Do not compare yourself to others. You've heard it before, but I'm sharing this with you, especially because for many of you watching this, this is the day before Valentine's Day. I know what happens as a psychologist. I've talked to numerous people, just even in general, not just with Valentine's Day, but any day of the year. As you start to compare yourself, what do they say? Comparison is a thief of joy. You start to compare yourself. You're looking online, you're looking at these perfect things, you're looking at these quote unquote perfect lives that people live, which is not even the truth on social media. Or you're seeing things in the news, or you're seeing things, whatever that it is that you're watching around you. These are just highlight reels, you all. So I just wanted to remind you that today, the second thing in your self love journey is do not compare. And it's human. It's a human thing to do. Sometimes we look around, we're like, well, that grass over there looks greener. We'd rather do this. We'd rather do that. But work on getting so focused on your own journey that you're lessening your desire to be comparing yourself to others. Because if it's something that's going to bring you down, if it's something that's going to lead to more self doubt, if it's something that's going to lead to judgment of yourself, or you not liking yourself in any way, right? Let's try not to fall into that comparison trap. And thanks for those who are still starting to join here. Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. Chicago's in the house. Newark's in the house. Los Angeles County, Dallas, Texas. Welcome, welcome all. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. Yep. Someone says, I'm working on me and trying to build my life with God. Beautiful. Beautiful. So today's topic, for those of you just joining in here, today's topic is about self-love, right? And it's about how do you begin or continue, depending where you're at in your journey, of really making sure that you are your number one priority, that you're focusing on you. You're focusing on, where am I at in my self-love journey? Some of you need to move into a state of forgiveness for whomever that may be. It might be yourself, it might be someone around you. For some of you, you may need to examine the way that you even treat yourself, like the thoughts and the things that you're telling yourself about yourself. Some of you need to work on boundaries. Like there's all these different things, and I don't mean to laundry list like all the things you're working. You're like, whoa, what's going on? It's overwhelming. I'm just giving you different examples of things for you to think about, like where are you at in this process of self love. But the beautiful thing, and I can share this personally and professionally. The beautiful thing is it is a journey. Sometimes it's a really long journey, but you can get to the other side where you're like, you know what, I do love myself for where I'm at currently, right? For the present version of who I am. A lot of times, many of us are caught in the past, right, or the future. Most of us, we're thinking about things that happened in the past, which right, it has already happened. It could be many years ago even, or we're worried about things that are going to be happening in the future. The future hasn't even happened yet, and well, unless you're psychic, right? We don't know what the future holds. So what's the beauty of working on self-love is when you work on being more in the present moment and working on loving the present version of who you are and getting to that state of mind, it really gets you to a peace of mind, right? Which is a lot of what, for those of you who are new to mental health moment, a lot of what mental health moment about is not only becoming a powerful version of who you are so you can show up powerfully for yourself and those around you, but also working on how do I continue to get back into peace of mind? Like why wouldn't we want to be in that state? It's a good place to be, right? Mentally, it's a great place to be. Emotionally, spiritually, physically, there's all these benefits of getting into a calmer state of mind, right? And having a good peace of mind. So think about these things on your self-love journey. Someone said God first, beautiful. Philly's in the house. Welcome, welcome. Good evening to you. Thanks so much for joining here. And let me know in the comments, like maybe if you feel vulnerable enough to share on your self-love journey, would you say, are you at the beginning of this journey? Do you feel like you're continuing? Are you like, I'm good, I'm working on it? Like, just be honest. You can put it in the chat, but just be honest with where you're at, right? And again, let me tell you, spoiler alert, all of your answers are correct, right? The biggest thing, especially when it comes to your mental health and your wellness, is the checking in with yourself on whatever part for this year. We've been talking a lot about prepping for this year, and here we are, like it's crazy, almost 2 months into the year, which is insane. But nonetheless, where you're at with different it's critical for you to know where you're at in different levels in different areas of your life, like self-love, right? So yep, someone said continuing in the comments, beautiful, right? So again, if it doesn't it doesn't matter if you're at the starting line, if you're just starting this journey, or if you're continuing, or you're like, I'm good, I'm in a good place. Any of those answers are the right answers for you. The most important thing again is for you to be in that sense of awareness, for you to take a step back. It's hard sometimes, you all. Who isn't stressed out, right? A lot of us are busy, we're stressed. There's a lot of things going on in the world. There may be things going on in your personal life. It can be really overwhelming, but it's so important for you to like take that step back, right? And really examine and look at your life. Someone else said, I'm continuing and I'm okay. Beautiful. Someone said, I'm working on it. Fantastic. I'm working on myself. I love to see it. I love to see it. Like that is, oh my gosh, how long has it been? Oh, 15 years. This year is 15 years, you all, which is insane. That I've had a private practice as a psychologist. And now just working with different groups and speaking to different communities, which I love. That's my love and passion, as many of you know who are not new to mental health moment, to inspire different groups. But what I honestly have learned professionally over again 15 years, which is crazy, is that the key or the secret, if you will, is really making that commitment to work on your personal development, making the commitment to yourself. That's why I always preach to you all, make yourself your number one priority. Make your commitment today if you haven't already. Many of you said you're working on it, which I love to hear. But even if you're like, I don't want to say, like, I'm just starting this path or restarting or resetting or whatever it is, make your commitment to work on your level of self love, whatever that looks like for you, right? And whatever it is that you feel that you need, that maybe you're not giving to yourself. Maybe you're, I I have shared with you all before in the past, years ago, before I went on my own healing journey, I had like horrible negative self-talk. Like it was really like it took me a minute to really start to examine my own thoughts and just how um harsh they were, like about things that happened or didn't happen, and certain things, we all fail at certain things, what did that mean, and just all these things. I was like, man, that's like really harsh. Like I would never talk like that to someone else, so why would I be saying these things in my head? And so, nonetheless, that was a part of my healing journey and just working on the self-love. How am I speaking to myself? Recognizing these thoughts, right? There's so many parts of this package for self-love, which I'm not going to do tonight. I could probably talk for 3 hours on it, you all, but I'm not going to do that to you all for mental health moment. But there's just so much, there's so much that goes into self-love, but the biggest thing again is for you to make this commitment to work on your level of self-love, to know where you're at in the journey. Someone said it's my goal for this year. I love it. Um, someone said, I give myself love. I give myself capital LOV love already. I love that. I love that. And again, like it really looks differently, but self-love looks like treating yourself well, like the things that you say to yourself, the things that you do to grow as a person, the things you do to be better as a person, the working on not having the self-blame game or the guilt or the shame and all these sorts of things, of things that may have happened 20 years ago, right? Or 10 years ago or 5 years ago, like things that we can't go back in time and change. But we can change our perception of it, right? We can always change that. Our perception of things that might have happened in the past or things that we think could happen in the future. But that all goes along with the self-love journey. So gonna wrap up mental health moment here because I started later for you guys today. So I don't want to keep you long today, but I did want to remind you of that. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way, for those of you who are already on Valentine's Day or about to have Valentine's Day tomorrow. So I did want to say that, but I wanted to, it was on my heart to share with you all today how important it is to know that's your level of love for yourself and just the self-love that you possess and the journey that you're on. It's important for you to make that commitment to continue that throughout your life. Also, I do want to say that there's a lot of love in the world. Don't let the negative things, don't let the negative things you see around you, whether it's the media, the social media, or whatever, like don't let it make you think that everything is horrible, everything is hatred in the world. That's really not true at all. Um, and if you're struggling with that, like, man, the world's falling apart and everything's so horrible. If you're in that space or everything's wrong for me or nobody loves me or whatever it is that you're telling yourself, again, negative things, try your best to look for evidence around you though of love that does exist, right? Of the kindness that people have for one another, and follow accounts. I follow a lot of positive accounts on Instagram, for example, that show like good deeds that people are doing, the positivity in the world, the love in the world. Just try to, I know it's hard sometimes, especially if you're in a dark place, but try to like retrain your brain to see that, right? Even if you're out in a store and you see like there's goodness out there, you see like positive things happening, love in the world. Try to really think about tuning into that frequency as you're working on your own level of self love. Because again, our brain sometimes tells us things that are not true. Just because you think it doesn't make it true, especially when it comes to the self-love journey. So practice those things. Blessings to you as well. Blessings from Minnesota. Welcome. I haven't been in Minnesota in a while, actually. It's been a while. I think it's been about a year. It was really cold there. That's definitely what I remember as a Floridian. But nonetheless, it was great. But again, remember those things for you. Check in with yourself again with your self-love journey. Make sure that you are putting the things in place that you know that you need to work to continue to work on your self-love. And again, it is a journey, it is a process, but the most important thing that you can do is make that commitment to your self-love. If it comes in the form of affirmations, if it comes in the form of doing things that bring you more joy, if it comes in the form of looking around you and understanding there's goodness in the world, there's kindness in the world, there is love in a lot of different forms in the world, like really understanding that whatever path it is that you need to take, start the journey or continue the journey, right? But again, I'm going to wrap up here, and thanks for joining and tuning in here from Dallas. If you all need me before next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can always reach out on drnikishahammond.com, or you can follow me on Instagram, dr.hammond, or LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, not Twitter, X. I keep saying Twitter, you all. I think they changed the name, I don't know, months ago, sometime last year. But X, formerly known as Twitter, or any other social media platform. So have an amazing week, you all. Again, happy Valentine's Day in advance, or day of, depending on when you're listening to this, or previously if you're listening to the replay. And I'll see you all next week. Be blessed. Know that you're loved. Know that there's a lot of love in the world, no matter what your experiences have been or what you think you're seeing. Like there's love in the world, and there's goodness in the world. So I'll leave with that. Again, have a great week, and I'll see you all next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. Bye, guys.